guys, it's Annalise. Today I'm going to be sharing about my study abroad experience in Salamanca, Spain. So I'm going to go over a brief day in the life of a school day and a travel day, and overall go through my thoughts and reflections at the end. So let's get started. I want to just say that I was able to do a program this past summer with my school, Northern Arizona University, and study at the University of Salamanca for 2 months, and it was a program where two of the Spanish teachers from my school came along with us, and we were able to take classes and travel at the same time. So first I want to get into what it was like to go to school in Salamanca, Spain. So first, we'd start out the day by having breakfast in our homes with our host families, and then we would walk to school at about 7:30 to get to school at 8. There's me and my roommate, and here's just walking through our town to get to school. Really beautiful, and I loved this walk. I especially loved walking through this block because it was full of my favorite restaurants and shops. And yeah, so I got to go through here every day before school. And so once we get to school, we'd walk to our grammar class, and that was about 2 hours, but we would get a break in between. So here's what we did during our break. My roommate and I, we would grab coffee and croissants every day. Oh, so yummy. Here's us cheersing. And then school would end, and we would walk through this beautiful plaza once again and head back home for a nap and for lunch. So once we took a nap and had lunch, we would do our homework and have dinner, and then after dinner on this day, we decided to go out for a night out with our friends and meet our friends to have some tapas, which in Spain you would go to different restaurants and get different like hors d'oeuvres. And so here's a traditional Spanish one called croquetas, and these are my favorite coming up. They're called patatas bravas, very similar to fries. Love them. And so we went to a couple different restaurants, and then after we went to watch fireworks with our friends because it was a holiday that weekend coming up, and this was a Friday night, so we didn't want to stay out too late. So after this, we headed home and got ready for bed for the next day to leave bright and early in the morning. So here is a glimpse of one of our travel days. So on travel days, we would typically wake up at 7, eat breakfast, and catch the bus by 8. And our professors would accompany us on these trips, and other students that were from my university would go on these weekend day trips as well. So here's us driving into the city, and on this day, we stopped in Segovia. Once we got off the bus in Segovia, we met up with a tour guide, and she took us through the city and showed us all of the important buildings and landmarks. And she took us to the Alcázar de Segovia, which is the famous castle in Segovia. And one fun fact about this is that it greatly inspired Walt Disney. The Disney castle was inspired by this castle, so this is it on the inside. It also is amazing listening to some of the history, some of the stories behind royalty that previously lived in this castle. Once we finished seeing everything on the inside of the castle, we were able to go to the very top and see this amazing view. After that, we had lunch in Segovia, and we were on to our next destination. We were able to stop for a bit in the city of Avila, and our professors took us to Muralla de Avila, which is the walls of Avila. So here's the top. It was a little bit cloudy that day, and here is us walking through the walls. It was amazing to see this view and get some great pictures. And after that, we were able to explore the city for a little bit. Here's their plaza, and here is a cathedral. And after that, we were done for the day, and so we headed home and had dinner and went to bed and rested after a long travel day and got ready for the next day. So now that I showed you what a typical school day looked like and what a typical travel day could look like, I am going to reflect on my experience with studying abroad in Salamanca. So firstly, I'm so grateful that NAU gave me the opportunity to be able to take classes at the University of Salamanca and live in Salamanca for 2 months. I had an amazing time, and it's an experience I'll never forget. Towards the beginning of the trip, I was so nervous to be living in a different country. I didn't know anyone, even though there were a lot of students from my university that were going to be living in the same city as me and going to the same university as me. But within a week, we were instant friends, and I've been able to make lifelong friends from this study abroad experience, which I'm so grateful for. I also was able to meet so many different people from around the world in my classes. And yeah, I also was extremely nervous for the classes because they were all in Spanish, but I learned so much from those classes, and my professors were so knowledgeable and understanding, and I feel like being immersed in the culture and the language really helped me greatly improve my Spanish, establish cultural competence, and overall just have the best time. So if you're doubting, ever hesitant about studying abroad, I say go for it. Like other people have told me, even though I didn't believe them at first, I believe them now. So go for it, even if you're hesitant or nervous. Everything will get figured out once you get into the swing of things. But yeah, overall, I am so grateful for this experience. I am literally doing everything I can to go back as soon as I can because I had the time of my life, as you can tell. But yeah, you can comment below any of your questions, and thank you so much for listening and watching. Bye!